At what point did you feel the urge to step into writing and what inspired you to make that shift?
I have participated in writing a story in school, and I kind of forgot about that field when I joined college. And when I found myself graduated and I'm having a little bit of extra free time, so I said I wanted to participate into that dream that I have kind of forgot while in college.
The early challenges you faced, like either in engineering or while writing your book, and how you pushed through those moments.
Most of the challenges I have found is how can I combine the forensic science and the novel?
Have you ever faced self-doubt?
Yes.
So how do you deal with that?
I deal it with understanding myself first.
Hi, my name is Saksham Bandari and welcome to my podcast, Lowkey Unfiltered. This is where I talk to people who've achieved something real and inspiring in their own way. Over the next few episodes, you'll hear stories of challenges, risks, and breakthroughs. And today, we start the first episode with someone who brings a really meaningful perspective. Ever wondered how someone goes from engineering to writing a book? Joining me today is Fatima Al Yazji, an engineer turned author who made that leap. She studied civil engineering and then went on to write a book called Evergreen Poison. Ms. Fatima, welcome to Lowkey Unfiltered.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm good.
I'm actually very happy to be here, and I'm very grateful to be in this interview with you. And I would love to translate the book from Arabic to English, and you're going to be the first one to take it.
Thank you so much. So, getting back on track, before we dive deeper into your achievements, could you tell us a little about yourself? Where did you study your engineering and where are you working right now?
Yeah, sure. I have studied engineering in BITS Pilani Dubai campus. So I joined as a civil engineer in 2016. I graduated in 2020. I was inspired actually by Sherlock Holmes' books and Agatha Christie. So I wanted to achieve something like them. Since I studied engineering, I wanted to take the scientific part of what I have studied in the college and bring it as a novel, something to inspire all ages.
Okay. And did you ever think that maybe you had some other dreams apart from engineering or writing a book?
Yes, but I found myself more into writing, so it's a way of expressing myself in words, even in imagination.
So can you describe those little dreams a little bit, those other ones?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
describe them a little bit.
I liked actually painting so much. I'm a really good painter, and you can see that in the drawings inside of the novel. So I actually like drawing so much and paintings, so I get inspired by them.
Amazing. So a follow-up question our listeners would be keen to know. Who are you outside of your work? What do you enjoy doing when you're not engineering or working on your book? And what hobbies or interests really define you?
I really like music, and I was actually keen to into piano and the violin so much. I like to listen to orchestras and enjoying that field, and reading books, of course, especially novels and forensic science books.
I actually tried in piano and failed. I couldn't do it.
What is your favorite kind of books?
I don't really read books, but probably action, thriller, maybe horror or something. I don't really know. I don't read books. So
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's just like Stephen King books or James Bond.
I've read Harry Potter. So
Oh, that's nice.
yeah. So you started your career in engineering, which is already a very demanding field. At what point did you feel the urge to step into writing and what inspired you to make that shift?
I was enjoying writing since I was in school. I have participated in writing a story in school, and I kind of forgot about that field when I joined college. And when I found myself graduated and I'm having a little bit of extra free time, so I said I wanted to participate into that dream that I have kind of forgot while in college.
Have you written anything before your actual book?
Yes, there was actually attempts in college and even in school, but I have stopped it because I wanted to focus more into my studies, and now I found myself more comfortable into getting back into writing.
All right. So interestingly, a lot of people feel scared to explore more than one passion. What gave you the confidence to pursue something completely different while still maintaining your engineering background?
I'm with you about this point. The writing, I found it as a hobby more than a career to follow. So that's why I gained the confidence on that. So like as if no one is rushing me into publishing my books. So like at least when I'm writing with passion, not as if following money or following the following what's in the table. So whenever I'm free, whenever I'm passionate into writing, I'm just going to put myself in the desk and write whatever I can.
I cannot hold to this question any longer. So now that we know a little bit more about yourself, can you tell us a bit about what your novel is about exactly and what voice it portrays?
Evergreen Poison is a crime mystery novel. It's talking about a detective who got retired after a really difficult case, and he shifted his career into to be a professional professor in the college, and he finds himself getting into a similar case that made him lost his old job and his best friend. So he's trying to solve this issue in a different matter that he will not lose anything close to him.
All right. I'm just curious, actually. I'd really like to know how many chapters your book is and when was it published?
It has been published in August last year, 2024, and it's about 30 chapters.
All right, all right. Very impressive. But tell me one thing. Surely it must have been tough, right? I mean, balancing engineering and writing must have had its own difficulties, right?
Yes, but like I was trying to get to combine both of them actually, because like since they are much different, but since I'm writing a crime novel, I said like both of them they are in sciences. So why can't I just combine the engineering, which is writing reports, and the scientific field into something that I really love and passionate about? So that's why I have. When I started writing the novel, I have been trying to learn the forensic sciences even more, even making reports, scientific reports, so I can include in the novel without the reader feel about it. Like he's at least when he finishes reading the novel, he will get to know what is the forensic science is about, and he will gain some information out of it.
So how exactly do you relate forensic sciences to your novel? Like, can you give an example?
Yeah, first of all, in the beginning of writing the novel, I have taken a forensic sciences course. Even I have read their books. And I whatever fields I feel myself more interested in, I have read the reports. I even like made a scientific report out of it. Of the crime that I'm going to include in the novel.
Okay. Can you walk us through the early challenges you faced, like either in engineering or while writing your book, and how you pushed through those moments?
Yes. Most of the challenges I have found is how can I combine the forensic science and the novel? Like how can I simplify that science into a way that the reader in all ages, he can read it and understand what the crime novel is about, what is this field is about. So like I had to at least go to forensic science from the scratch till like the advanced levels and gain what is the important things to show the reader is.
What audience is your book meant for?
It's for all genres. Like I like the idea of Harry Potter is meant for all the genres, from kids till adults.
Exactly.
I like that field, and I say that the reader who's going to grab my book, I want them to be like the small sister that I have till the grandfather of the family, who's going to read it. He's going to enjoy it and get information out of it.
Can you further describe any other challenges that came later, like maybe after you graduated or after you published the book?
Yes, actually, like I found it much difficult to present the novel into the audience, because crime novels it has been for more than 100 years. So like I needed to present some new idea into this field, especially that I'm a woman, and women actually being in some kind of perspective, like for example, romance novels like Jane Austen. I just wanted to be to present the book in a way that it's going to be equal, like between me and men, and to make it sensible.
Nice. And was there a point where you thought of quitting everything?
In
Like
novel,
book writing and as well as engineering? Like,
no, actually, engineering, I actually was very interested in physics and math in school, so that's one of the main reasons I have choose it. And novels, yes, because in the end of the writing of the novel, it was actually very difficult because the main character was Adam Ruslan. He's a man, so like I have to represent him and think like a man while writing. But when I see the people, how the audience is reacting with the book, it make me really happy into like publishing another book actually.
so you never thought of quitting?
Sometimes, but like I really liked how can be a book or achievement really be like how can it really shown to the people.
That's good to know. That's good to know. What's one mistake you made that taught you the most?
Just focus on yourself. Yeah, like don't distract yourself with many hobbies. Yeah, and I'm actually still learning about that, how to achieve it in life.
Have you ever faced self-doubt?
Yes.
So how do you deal with that?
I deal it with understanding myself first, like, and what led me to be in that point. Like, what is that? Like, why am I thinking like that? And I'm at least try to fix what damage that happened, and try to avoid the mistakes that I have done in the past.
Was there a moment where you realized that, okay, this is actually working?
When I published it, the novel, and I have seen the reviews from the men perspective and from different people, like not only men, women, children, and adults. When I saw their reaction into the book, and they are very eager and very excited to what's happening. So like, yeah, I've sense that what I have been working on is actually effective.
What about your family? Were they eager?
Yeah, they were actually very eager about it, and they were very supportive, and I'm very glad for them.
Okay, so your book seems to reflect parts of your life and journey. What was the most emotionally difficult chapter or memory to put down in words?
When writing the novel, I was actually trying to not put myself in it because it's something emotional. The most difficult chapter, I guess, when in the end, when the professor Adam Ruslan, he's facing his old self, and for the first time, he's facing his guilt about the mistakes that he have done in the past, and he's in his weakest state of mind. And even with that, he's trying to push himself to rescue the people who really cared.
So what's the name of the chapter?
I guess it's in the before the last. There's no names of that chapter.
There's no name, okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
this was in the epiphany moment in the end of the novel.
Okay, so now we know the most challenging part of your book. What was the most fun to write?
The most fun to write is the moments between the main character Adam Ruslan with his colleague, the student that he's studying with. His name is Sami. So like when I put the moments between them, it's going to be challenging, especially because both of them, there's not much of age gap. So like the trick was how can a professor who's older than the student of like by a gap of 6 years, how can they combine their times together, and how can they respond? So like I really like the connection with that.
Any name of that chapter or no?
There were actually, it was filled by it because Sami was always there for Adam, and he had to accompany him because he's his student and he has to learn from him. So like they were actually full of journey, very funny moments between them.
Okay, so now we know a little bit more about your book, but I also think our viewers will be keen to know more about your engineering. So, why exactly did you choose engineering as a profession?
Yeah, I actually liked very much the physics and the math, and I found myself more in civil engineering. They can present both of them equally, and I thought that it's going to be a really nice move so like I can manage what I'm good for, and in the end, it's going to be a really good degree.
I'll be brutally honest, I hate physics. I hate physics.
I didn't like much chemistry, so like I found myself more into physics.
Okay. So now we'll do a rapid fire. You don't have to answer quickly, you can take your time, but I just have a continuous set of a few questions.
Okay.
So, did success change your mindset or routine in any way? And what is that one habit or mindset?
Yes, it has changed my mind in a way that I have to work in a smart way, not to put much of energy in it. Like, for example, just to, like, instead of putting 1 or 2 hours in something that I need to do, I can find a way that I can reduce the time and it can give me the same effect in my results.
So, what is that one way you use to reduce your time taken on your work?
Instead of, for example, I'm having 7 days in a week. Instead of planning to make, for example, Monday for something, Tuesday for something, I can reduce. I can make my schedule in a way that every day I'm going to fix a routine from morning till night. It depends on my activities that I'm going to put. I'm going to fix 1 or 2 hours for each activity that I'm going to do.
I can't do that kind of time management. I can't.
It's difficult actually, but like by routine, it's going to be easier by each time.
So now you're successful, you've published a book, you graduated from a college and you studied civil engineering. What does a normal day look like for you now compared to before like graduation?
Before graduation, I was instead aside from studying in the college, I have to come back at home and study and look into what homework and assignments that I have. Now, since after graduation, I'm not having that assignments or that task to be done at home. So I'm focusing on my activities that makes me happy, to relax, to generate new ideas for my new books. So yeah.
Who influenced you the most growing up?
My parents, actually. Because my mom, she's the artistic person in the house. I gained that inspiration for books from her. And my father, he's the engineer of the house. So like by growing up, I was seeing him how he's dealing with multitasking and problem solving. So both of them, they have affected me in a way while growing up.
So your mom was an author too, basically, or something else?
She was actually a fashion designer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and your dad was an engineer?
Yes.
What field? Civil?
Civil engineer
Civil
also.
as well, okay.
Yeah.
What's something people assume about you that's completely wrong?
I'm emotionless, which is, I don't know how can I see myself by, like, I don't see that thing in me. To be an author, you have to be full of emotions.
Yeah.
But like instead of showing it to the people, somehow changed it to writing it in a paper and a pen.
Okay. How did the people around you react when you chose this path?
They were actually very supportive, but like they really get surprised when I finally get the contract with the publisher, Asli Macaulay. And they were actually very happy to see that achievement, especially that most of the time I'm dealing with the engineering part of my life. So like it was actually, they found it weird, but a really good way.
So were they more happy about the engineering part or the author part?
Both of them, but the reactions were different. Like somehow they have expected to be an engineer, but they have not expected me to publish the book, which made them happy in a different way.
How do you balance working as an engineer and then working on like books as well, writing books? How do you balance the both of them?
I focus more in the engineering part because it's my job. It's I have studied 4 years, and it's a way of living the engineering part. But the novel part is a way to relieve my emotions, to relieve the stress that a person can have from the day or from the week. So I found it more relieving.
So how often do you write?
I write like kind of daily.
Daily, okay.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you balance all that with your personal life as well?
The personal life, I'm like like all my friends, they know that they can contact me very easily. Like I'm always in that social life, and I'm trying like in the weekends, I'm more comfortable with hanging out with my friends, with my family. But during the week, it's actually more into getting what needed to be done.
So it's only on the weekends where you actually hang out and have
Yes.
fun. Okay. And if you had to start over today, what would you do differently?
I would have gained more connections from that field from the beginning of writing the book instead of gaining them after like writing the book. At least they can give me the correct advices. They can illuminate the path from the beginning.
What keeps you motivated when things slow down, when they're not going in your favor?
I try to zoom out from the people or the society that I'm sitting in. Like just take a break, go to somewhere that I really love, be by myself. I try to analyze what happened, what mistakes that have happened, and what could be, what things that I can change in the future. What happened in the past is done. I can't change it. So like what I can change is what I'm doing right now and my future. So I'm trying to focus on that.
So you only do what you can control and you let go of the things you can't.
Yes, not let go 100%. I have to analyze it. So I have to understand what happened to avoid that mistakes that happened in the past.
All right, that's amazing. Can you describe? Okay, so this is like a fun. This is like the fun segment of it.
Okay.
So can you describe your job in a few words or a phrase?
Crime novelist is to show the negativity of life in a way that no people can do. Like to show the emotions of the crime that can't be done in for example, the crime scenes or the police stations.
Yeah.
It's a poetic way.
Yeah.
The civil engineering is to plan every aspect of the city to make the community easier to live in.
Can you explain civil engineering like just a bit? Because I'm actually like I have no idea what it is. Just like in a few
Yes.
words, if you could explain it to me and everyone watching.
Civil engineering is to plan the city from infrastructure to building to the roads, even to analyze the environment that we are in. That what make it is actually including everything of engineering.
So it includes physics, environmental management, everything like that.
Yes, even it can even include chemistry. If you say that you don't like physics, you can in civil engineering you can you can work in environment engineering, which is studying the environment and like to create something new.
I like chemistry actually. I enjoy chemistry.
So
What's your favorite subject apart from physics and math?
Literature.
Okay.
Yes.
And what's something new you've tried recently?
I'm trying to learn new languages. For example, right now I'm trying with the Turkish language.
All right. I don't know any other languages. I only know like English. I know a little bit of French. That's it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Arabic and French, they are both having something in common that there is he or she in the words. It's going to be more difficult than English. English in a sentence, for example, you ate, you can say that word, that sentence for a woman and a male. In Arabic and the French, no, sentence is going to be different for both men and women.
Yeah, that's why it's so difficult. What's the one thing that you like the most about living in the UAE?
It's accessible for everything. It made me easier for me to be a writer and an engineer at the same time, and the community that I'm living in.
And what's the one thing that you don't like?
The traffic.
Okay, that's very relatable. That's very relatable. One skill you've always wanted to learn, but you haven't done that yet.
Learning music, the violin and the piano,
I
especially.
tried that. I failed. Anything else?
Anything else? I have not failed it yet, but I did not have that correct time to master it. Painting.
I wanted to do chess as well. I couldn't do that.
It's easy actually. But
Yeah, it's easy, but like I'm bad at it. Like I keep losing.
Maybe my advice is to try in the chess games in the phone. By practice, you'll be understanding how to play it correct.
Yeah, but like I don't really get myself to practice. I can't somehow, for some reason, I can't do that.
There is a series on Netflix called The Queen Gambit. They can somehow teach you the main idea of chess. So like you can at least be enjoying the series while understanding chess.
Speaking of Netflix, do you like movies or web series? Do you like that stuff?
Yes, Sherlock and Hannibal. They're both series.
Yeah, I've seen Harry Potter as well.
Yeah, it's actually nice. I
It's
like
nice.
that analyzing.
I somehow think the books are better though. Like for Harry Potter,
Harry Potter,
I
yes.
think the books are better.
Yes, I have read half of them and actually they're really enjoyable.
Well, getting back on track, this has been a very interesting talk so far. However, I'm being mindful of time too. So before we end today's episode, there's one last thing I would want to ask you. For all the young people out there, students, dreamers, or anyone trying to forge their path, what is one message, one piece of advice that you would want to give to the upcoming youth?
You have to really hold that plan, that passion that you're having is really good for you, and that's the one thing that can make you different from the other people. If you're struggling in finding time, just try day, write or focus in that path only 1 hour. It's not just push it into your routine. It's going to be difficult in beginning, but by time it's going to be easier to fill your day with something that you really love.
The small steps, basically.
Yes.
Okay. And anything specific for engineers or authors in specific?
Yes. For engineers, it's you have to work smarter, not harder. Engineering is about math and pure science. So like in math, there's not one way to solve a math question. There will be like many ways to solve it. So like that thing, you can practice it in life.
So you really have to study hard for civil engineering?
Not that, I mean, yes, it's pure science. You have to study hard for it, so like you can master it. Every discipline in life is hard. Even something that you find it really small, but it's studying it in college or in school, it's really hard. But like you have to find your way that makes it smarter, not harder. Like you can, instead of wasting hours into solving one issue, you can try your way to reduce the time, and so you can get the same results.
Yeah, you gave an example earlier.
Yeah.
So amazing, that came straight from your heart. Thank you for that. Thanks for sharing your story and the lessons behind your journey.
Thank
It was
you.
indeed a great pleasure to host you, Miss Fatima. Just one last thing before we conclude. You've already achieved so much, more than most people anyway nowadays. What are your future plans or goals that you want to achieve in the future? Like maybe you want to write another book or something.
First of all, thank you so much for having me in your show.
No problem. Pleasure.
I have really spent really nice time with you. About your question is, yeah, I'm planning actually to write other books, maybe a second book of the same novel.
Crime novels, or would you like to explore another genre?
No, I actually find myself more into the crime novels because it's combining between the sciences that I have gained from the engineering part and the artistic part in writing.
Are you interested in any other genres? Like, I'm just curious.
Yes, I actually like the drama novels that can explain the society that we're in and the issues that we're having.
Thank you so much. Dear viewers, this is exactly what Lowkey Unfiltered is about. Honest conversations that push you to think bigger. I hope this episode gave you something real to take away. This is your host Saksham Bandari signing off from the first episode with a promise of future developments on my YouTube channel in my next episode. Till then, stay tuned and have a great day. Thank you.